Buying property in Mexico as a foreigner. Buying property in Mexico as a foreigner is an attractive opportunity for many people seeking a vacation home, retirement plan, or investment. While Mexico offers a range of real estate options, understanding the legal framework is essential to ensure a smooth purchase process. This book explores key aspects such as foreign ownership laws, when a bank trust is necessary, due diligence practices, the role of escrow, and more. Can foreigners legally own property in Mexico? Yes, buying property in Mexico as a foreigner is legal, but there are some restrictions based on the property's location. The Mexican Constitution aims to protect certain strategic areas, so the ownership process differs depending on where the property is situated. Foreigners can directly own land outside restricted zones by obtaining a property title in their name. However, if the property lies within 50 kilometers 31 miles of the coastline or 100 kilometers 62 miles of any national border, it falls within the restricted zone. Foreigners cannot directly own real estate in these areas under their name. Instead, a legal instrument called a fideicomiso bank trust is required, enabling foreign buyers to legally acquire property while retaining full ownership rights. When is a fideicomiso needed? A bank trust is necessary when buying property in Mexico as a foreigner within the restricted zone. This trust arrangement ensures compliance with Mexican law while providing the foreign buyer with complete control over the property. Here's how it works. Bank trust setup. A Mexican bank acts as the trustee, holding the title on behalf of the buyer. However, the buyer retains full control as the trust's beneficiary and can use, lease, sell, or pass the property to heirs. Duration and renewal. A fideicomiso lasts for 50 years and is renewable indefinitely, ensuring long-term ownership security. Fees. Buyers must pay setup fees and annual maintenance fees to the bank for managing the trust. This structure guarantees that foreigners can buy, sell, and manage properties in the restricted zone just as freely as Mexican citizens. Conducting due diligence. Conducting proper due diligence is critical when buying property in Mexico as a foreigner. This ensures that the transaction is legitimate, free from complications, and that the title is clear. Here are the essential steps. Title search and verification. The notary public confirms the legal status of the property. The notary will ensure the seller holds a valid title and that no liens or disputes are attached to the property. Review of permits and zoning regulations. Verify that the property is correctly zoned for its intended use, whether residential, commercial, or mixed use. Properties near tourist areas may have special restrictions. More about it in the book. Verify seller identity and ownership. Confirm that the seller is the rightful owner to avoid potential fraud. Environmental compliance. For beachfront properties, additional permits may be required. Ensure the property complies with local environmental regulations. Legal assistance. Hire a real estate attorney to review the purchase agreement and trust documentation. They can also handle government filings and legal procedures. The role of escrow in property transactions. Escrow is a recommended option for added security when buying property in Mexico as a foreigner. Although not mandatory and not popular in Mexico, an escrow service offers protection to both the buyer and the seller by acting as a neutral third party that holds funds until all terms of the contract are fulfilled. How escrow works. The buyer deposits funds into an escrow account. The escrow agent ensures all contractual obligations, such as the transfer of the title and delivery of documents, are met. Once conditions are satisfied, the agent releases the funds to the seller, minimizing risks for both parties. What privileges can Mexican residency offer when owning real estate? Obtaining Mexican residency provides additional benefits when buying property in Mexico as a foreigner. Residency offers several financial and practical advantages. Access to financing. While non-residents generally cannot obtain mortgages from Mexican banks, residents may qualify for local financing. However, interest rates offered by Mexican banks are much less competitive than those available from U.S. or Canadian lenders. Reduced tax obligations. Mexican residents can qualify for capital gains tax exemptions when selling their property, provided it is their primary residence. Easier management of rental properties. Residency simplifies the process of managing rental income. Residents can collect rent, open Mexican bank accounts, and register with the tax authorities to report rental income under favorable terms. This is particularly beneficial for vacation rental properties. Streamlined bureaucratic processes. Having a CURP, the Mexican equivalent of a social security number, makes it easier to manage utilities, obtain insurance, and pay property taxes. Long-term stability. Residency allows property owners to stay in Mexico year-round without worrying about the 180-day tourist limit. Residents can manage their property personally and avoid the inconvenience of frequent visa renewals. Whether your goal is to invest, live full-time, or manage vacation rentals, buying property in Mexico as a foreigner can be a rewarding and profitable endeavor.